Portable power saws are available in a wide range of types and sizes. They fall into three main categories. The portable circular saw is the most commonly used. Because of its versatility, it is found on almost every construction site. The compound miter saw is fixed in an adjustable frame. This allows greater control and accuracy of cutting. The slide compound saw has all the features of the compound miter saw. The sliding action, however, allows it to cut much wider material. Power, sharp blades and speed make safe work practices essential. Safety should focus on the power supply, the tool, the job and the operator. An earth leakage tripping device should be fitted in line. Leads should be tagged to indicate compliance with legal requirements. Power should be switched off and disconnected while adjustment or maintenance of the saw is carried out. Reading the instruction manual is the first step for safe operation. Guards are important safety features. Safety is a design feature of the tool. The spring guard must be free to open and return smoothly to cover the blade. Modifying a saw can make it unsafe. The spring guard is never to be tied back. The blade must be installed so that it rotates in the correct cutting direction. All adjustments and settings must be correctly made and tightened firmly. Circular saws cut only in straight lines. Curved cuts should not be attempted, or dangerous kickback will result. The workspace should be free from offcuts and electrical cables kept away from the saw blade. The material to be cut should be firmly held. Cramps are preferred even if they need to be repositioned to complete the cut. Poorly supported work is unsafe. Material should be adequately supported to avoid collapse and to prevent jamming of the saw blade. The job should be arranged so that the weight of the saw is not on the offcut but on supported material. A comfortable, well-balanced stance is used. Standing slightly to the side of the line of cut avoids the chance of injury should kickback occur. Hands are kept clear of the blade and the cutting area at all times. If a saw has two handles, both should be used. Loose clothing is to be avoided and appropriate personal protective equipment worn. Wet footwear or standing on damp ground is hazardous when using power tools. Most saws now come with a tungsten carbide tipped blade. This is suitable for both ripping and cross-cutting. A fine-tooth blade is more suitable for cutting composite boards. Abrasive discs can be fitted to portable power saws. They are available for materials such as metal and masonry. Because the particles produced are a hazard to both the operator and the machine, such discs are not usually recommended by saw manufacturers. A better alternative is purpose-designed saws and blades for the specific materials being worked. These masonry and metal saws make use of dust collection boxes. In confined spaces, they can be connected to a dust extraction unit. To change a blade, the saw is disconnected from the power supply. If the saw has a shaft lock, it is engaged. The spanner supplied is used to remove the bolt and the collar holding the blade. The blade is removed through the slot in the base plate. This procedure is reversed to fit the new blade. Care must be taken that the teeth point in the direction of rotation. The collar and bolt are replaced and tightened. The shaft lock is disengaged and the blade manually rotated as a check before power is reconnected. Blades often have a rotation direction arrow which assists with correct fitting. Blades which need excessive pressure to force the cut or which burn the timber require sharpening. Blunt or damaged tungsten tip blades go to the saw doctor. Power saws require little maintenance. Moving parts should be kept free of sawdust. Retractable guards must operate freely. The most common cause of operating failure is worn carbon brushes. Instruction manuals supplied with most major brands of saws explain brush replacement. If your instruction manual does not contain this advice, do not attempt this procedure. Take your saw to an authorized service center. Brushes are located on each side of the motor housing. They should be inspected regularly and replaced when they reach their wear limit. Before doing this, power is disconnected. The brush caps are removed. The worn brushes are taken out. They should always be renewed as a pair. Replacement is done by reversing the procedure. When correctly seated, the brushes are held in place with the brush caps. Portable circular saws are classified by the maximum diameter blade the tool will accept. The common sizes are 160 mm, 185 mm and 235 mm. Tilting a saw blade reduces the cutting depth. When selecting a saw, it is important to take this factor into account. Two main adjustments are available. The depth of cut can be changed by releasing a wing nut located at the back of the saw. This allows the raising and lowering of the base plate in relation to the cutting teeth. A locking nut at the front of the saw controls the tilt of the blade to the base plate. This varies the angle of cut between 90 and 45 degrees. When the blade returns to the 90 degrees position, it comes to rest against a factory set stop. Prolonged use may cause this setting to change. A check can be made with a tri-square. A simple adjustment returns the blade to square. An adjustable fence can be used to make parallel cuts. It can be set accurately to the desired width. It is important that the setting is to the edge of the tooth with the thickness of the blade in the waste material. Two notches are located at the front of the base as guides for freehand cutting. One is for the blade set at 90 degrees. The other is for a blade angle of 45 degrees. When the blade is set at angles between 90 and 45 degrees, the guide notches cannot be used. It is necessary to sight over the blade side of the saw and follow the cut visually. The thickness of the saw blade should be on the waist side of the line. The trigger switch is located on the vertical handle. Two handles equate to two-handed operation, even if it means having to take time to cramp the job in place. Before switching on, the blade is kept clear of the timber, but the front of the base plate must be in contact with the job. The sole of the base plate is kept in contact with the job at all times during cutting. The rate of feed is varied according to the nature of the material being cut. Thicker or harder timber requires a slower feed rate. A faster rate can be used with thinner or softer material. To cut cleanly, the blade must project beneath the material being cut. Opinions vary on blade depth. Inexperienced users may feel more comfortable with minimum blade exposure. Most professionals use maximum blade projection. Ripping long lengths requires the job to be adequately supported. This may mean stopping the cut to adjust the support. Wedging the cut allows the saw to restart without jamming. Shorter lengths of timber may require a different method to hold them in place while cutting. For the fence to be effective in completing a shallow rip, it may have to be extended. A series of shallow cuts will produce a groove. The two outside cuts which define the groove are made first. The remainder of the waste is then removed using multiple cuts. A rebate can be formed by making two cuts at right angles to each other. With the blade adjusted to an angled setting, the saw produces a beveled cut. Cross-cutting is more accurate when following a guideline. Complex compound cuts can be made quite simply. Two individual cutting processes are involved. One is an angled cross-cut and the other a beveled cross-cut. When the two are combined in one cutting action, a compound cut is produced. When cutting trenches, the lowest tooth point in the cutting action is set to depth. A series of cuts at this depth produces the trench. The two outside cuts defining the trench are made first. The remaining waste is removed using multiple passes. Pocket or plunge cuts can be made in two ways. The guard is retracted and the front of the base plate is placed in contact with the job. With the saw running, the blade is lowered onto the guideline and plunged through the material. When the cut is finished, it is safer not to remove the saw until the blade has stopped. Another way is to loosen the depth adjustment. The blade is raised and the base plate is placed flat on the work. With the saw running at full speed, the blade is lowered to make the cut. A block clamped at the back of the job eliminates kickback. Excessive sawdust in a confined space is a health hazard. A way to overcome this is to use a dustless saw with a collection box. As the box fills, the sawdust can be conveniently disposed of. In some extreme situations, an even better solution is a dust extraction unit. The saw is plugged directly into the powered extraction unit. The extractor is set to automatic. Operation of the saw trigger activates the unit to collect the dust. Certain situations make a battery-operated saw a useful option. The compound miter saw is a portable saw for accurately cutting specific angles. The blade can be angled up to 45 degrees both to the left and to the right. Preset angles of 15, 22.5, 30 and 45 degrees are self-positioning. Angles between these settings are locked by tightening the adjustment handle. The cutting head can also be tilted up to 45 degrees and locked in place. When being carried, the saw should have the head locked in the lowered position. Changing blades is similar to the portable circular saw once the blade guard is removed and the shaft lock engaged. The blade rotation direction should be matched to the indicator on the hood guard. The teeth point in the direction of rotation. The retractable guard is replaced and the lowered blade turned by hand. This checks the shaft lock is released and the teeth do not contact the base. The compound miter saw is set up on a stable platform at a comfortable working height. The precision construction of the machine ensures a high degree of accuracy in all cutting operations. Rotating the table produces perfect miters. With the table at 90 degrees and the cutting head tilted, clean bevel cuts can be made. By rotating the table and tilting the cutting head, accurate compound cuts are produced. The slide compound saw performs all of the functions of the compound miter saw. The added feature of a cutting head that can slide increases its applications. The sliding action allows cuts to be made across much wider boards. This also applies to producing compound cuts. The depth of the cut can be adjusted by limiting the drop of the cutting head. By using multiple cuts, accurate trenching can be carried out. A cordless version of the slide compound saw allows the operator added freedom of operation. To make the most of their speed and precision, portable power saws require not only a skilled operator, but a safe operator.